do it.
Stand by. One 1956, 1956. Fire safe clean.
Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mordecai the Hunter, and I'm here to help you shoot better at Cowboy Action. To do that, I take the video from my stages and talk about what went well or what I could have done differently so that you can learn from my mistakes or triumphs. My goal is to educate or at least entertain you, so let me know in the comments what you think, or if you had a good time, hit the like and subscribe button. Now that you've seen things from my perspective, let's take a step back, review the tape, and see what could have gone better. Here's what you missed on the range.
Today, Stage 1 starts with 10 pistol holstered, 10 rifle staged on the middle shelf, and 4+ shotgun staged anywhere safely. The gun order is pistol, rifle, shotgun, and we'll be starting with our hands on our hat. At the beep, engage the pistol targets in a 1-1-1-2-3-2-3-4-4-4 sweep. From the center shelf, engage the rifle targets with the pistol instructions, and from the right window, engage the shotgun targets until down.
Do it.
Stand by.
Okay, so Stage 1 started with a pistol hiccup. Surprise! I have 2 excuses lined up for you. I've been shooting 22 pistols to conserve primers, and my hands were sweaty. So here I am learning what recoil feels like again, and I have sweaty hands because Texas. Immediately after this stage, I went back to the car and grabbed a bag of baseball resin that I keep with my range gear. I rub my hands and the pistol grips with the resin for the match, and then just make sure to wipe it off when I get home. I got that tip from world champion hair trigger Hayes after he watched me struggle with my grip in a previous summer. If you're shooting in a hot environment, it'll give you a better grip and it's less messy than sand or chalk. Another thing that I've noticed is that I place my guns down and then start moving, especially with long guns, where I really should be working on starting to move as I'm discarding them. It's less obvious when I'm moving to the right, but I noticed in some of the other videos as well, so I'll bring it up again later. The last thing that I think could have helped me here is where I placed the shotgun. If I had staged in the middle next to my rifle, I could have picked it up while discarding the rifle and been loading shells as I was moving to the right instead of waiting until I got there. Despite all that, I still managed to finish in 18.87 seconds with no misses. I think a 16 or low 17 would have been doable if I hadn't been in a rush to get off the loading table. Okay, moving on to Stage 2 at the fence. We are starting with pistols on the left at low surrender, rifle in the center, and shotgun on the right. A Three Musketeers sweep means we shoot the first target 5 times and then sweep all 5 targets. So in reality, we are shooting the first target 6 times and then sweeping the other 4. Pretty straightforward, a little movement. The real key here is making sure you don't get ahead of yourself running the rifle since we have 6 shots at a single target. Unfortunately, we had some camera trouble and missed out on the third person view, so I'll take a minute to talk about staging. For long guns, I like to make sure that the trigger guard is up against the edge of the table so it's easier to grab the stock. You should also be aware of how you're approaching the staged gun so you're not moving farther than you need to. Remember, movement is time, so the less you move, the less time you're wasting. It's also a good idea to line up your guns with the first target you're shooting at. For the rifle, that means pointing the barrel at the first target. For the shotgun, I like to point the stock at the target, or have it positioned so that it's as close and easy to grab as possible. Pointing a double barrel at a target is less important since it's split in half and you can line it up as you're loading the shells, but I would definitely point a 97 at the target if I was still using that. One other thing I've tried to get into the habit of is double checking that the safety on the shotgun is off. I recently ran a stage where it had been engaged somehow, and it cost me several seconds and a little bit of pride trying to figure out what was wrong. Anyway, I was happy with the stage and the 1568 time, so let's move on. Stage 3 at the bathhouse, starting with the rifle at the ready this time, pistols on the far right opening, and then back to the shotgun in the center. Targets are engaged in a progressive sweep, which is 1 on the first, 2 on the second, 3 on the third, and 4 on the fourth. But on this stage, we only have 3 targets, so we come back to the second target for the last 4 shots. Nothing too crazy, let's watch the video.
Set.
Stand by.
Alrighty, not too bad. Felt good about the rifle. For the record, I have had to practice starting with rifle at the ready. You'd think it would be easier, but for some reason I remember having trouble trying to start too fast and short stroking the lever. So I've had to make a conscious effort to be smooth and deliberate for that first shot. Nice long runway to pull that first pistol. Remember that you can move with the pistol in hand so long as you don't cock the hammer until you've stopped moving. If you shoot cross-draw like I'm experimenting with right now, moving to the right is easy, but if you're moving to the left, your holster is pointed back into the crowd. So if you do need to move left, I would draw the pistol first so you don't have to turn back around once you get where you're going. I know I talked earlier about minimizing movement, so you might be wondering why the shotgun isn't closer to the wall. The reason is I wanted to make sure I wasn't going to bump the shotgun stock in my dash to the pistol bay. It might have been better just to move the shotgun farther up on the table, but I figured if I was going to have to move farther to get to the shotgun anyway, I'd be better off not changing how I pick it up. It was still only a step away, and I needed time to holster the second pistol anyway. Unfortunately, I did miss a pistol shot on this stage, turning a 1491 into a 1991. Dang it. Stage 4 at the blacksmith shop. We'll be starting in the doorway with hands touching the sides of the doorway. The gun order is rifle or pistol first and shotgun last with 3 different bays to shoot from. Target order is triple tap the center target, single tap each of the 4 outside targets, and then triple tap the center target again. Let's see what happened.
All right, let's do it.
Stand by.
Okay, so the big question on this stage is rifle or pistol first. I decided to go with the pistol first since I could draw it on the run, but now I'm not so sure that was the best approach. Even though I didn't have to retrace steps, I took a second to draw it before running, and I think the transition from rifle to pistol would have been more natural. If I could do it again after watching the other shooters, I would have gone for the rifle first. Part of this is that I wasn't super happy with my rifle transition. I put it down with my left hand, which turned my whole body to the right, and then I had to turn back to the left to run to the shotgun. This is a perfect example of what I was talking about earlier, where I need to work on moving while discarding. And another great run with a raw time of 1766, ruined by a pistol miss. Rats. Okay, moving on. Stage 5 at the Bad Girls Club, starting off at Texas Surrender with the pistols at the right window, then the rifle targets on the far left, and shotgun in the center. Target order is 4 shots on the center target, and then 2 identical sweeps. Let's see what it looks like.
Let's do it.
Stand by.
Okay, so we had another pistol hiccup, but at least this time it's a learning opportunity. The reason you see me hesitate and look at the gun after the last shot is I thought I had left the hammer pulled back, and if you holster or set the gun down in that condition, it's a stage DQ. I know because I have done it in the past, and nothing drives home a rule like 150 seconds added to your time. The rules are written for shooter and bystander safety, and this is a serious penalty because the act is seriously dangerous. So you see me stop, consciously point the gun down range, and pull the trigger to drop the hammer before holstering. On a more positive note, you'll see me start to step to the left as I'm holstering the pistol, which is what I want to be doing. Now if only I could apply that to my other guns. You may also have noticed that I have to reach a little farther to the right to pick shotgun shells out of my belt. I actually forgot to restock after the last stage, so it's a good thing I carry 12, and even with 4 missing, I still had plenty to run the stage. Last stage, at the fort, starts with a shotgun on the left or right window and rifle staged in the middle. The target order is double tap each of the 3 targets and then quad tap the center target. The starting position is from Blazing Saddles, showing the TO your steady hands, and has split shotgun targets. So let's take a look and see what happened.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot with this hand.
Stand by.
Alrighty, not too bad. Clearly the main challenge on this stage is dealing with the split shotgun targets, so let's discuss that for a moment. When I ran this stage, I decided to start on the left and move to the right. After the first pair of targets, I put the shotgun down way to the left of the rifle. It definitely wasn't in my way, but it also wasn't super convenient to grab after I finished with the rifle and pistols. I actually had to take a step in the wrong direction to pick it up and flip it over before I could move to the last window on the right. So after everyone ran the stage, I had a chat with Whiskey Kid and Big Iron, and they gave me some great pointers on how to make this transition a little better. To illustrate, I took some extra footage after the match since I figured it would be easier to explain it if you could see it. Our first option is from Whiskey Kid. As you're coming from the left, roll the top of the shotgun into your left hand and angle the stock up, allowing you to cross over your rifle and place the shotgun on the far side. This approach angles the stock to the right, which puts it out of the way and makes it easier to pick up when you transition back. I also really like that the act of discarding and picking up is in the same motion so that there's no wasted movement. We also discussed what to do if you need to place the shotgun on the left side of the rifle for some reason. In this example, we just cross over the shotgun when discarding the rifle instead of the other way around. It also occurs to me that I could have started from the right, but I feel better having these transitions in my toolbox in case I need them later. Alrighty, so what did we learn today? First off, if you're one of the parts still using 22 pistols for practice, be sure to get a match in with your centerfire guns before buckles are at stake. If you have sweaty hands, get some baseball resin and rejoice in the sticky goodness. Pay attention when staging your long guns, and for goodness sake, make sure that hammer is down on your pistol before putting it away. Finally, play around with your shotgun transitions. If it feels awkward, there may be a better way. A big shout out and thanks to Green Mountain Regulators of Marble Falls, Texas for putting up with me recording, as well as the advice and encouragement. If you've enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe. It activates the YouTube voodoo that suggests content to others who might be interested. That's all for now. See y'all on the range.